Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Scotty, and if you're new here, click the subscribe button so you can join the family. What are you waiting for? So earlier this year, I went to my friend's annual vision board event, and we did obviously a vision board. So I'm here how many months later? I'm here 10 months later to give you an update of what I put on my vision board and to see what I already manifested and what's still in the works to be manifested. It's so amazing. I really enjoy these events. I only been to one of her events, but I'm telling you, like, I don't plan on missing another event. I don't plan on missing another event per se, because I find that there is no magic to like manifesting. First of all, like, first and foremost, there's no magic to manifesting. Like, this is not something that you basically make a wish and it just comes true. There's different ways of manifesting, and I find that this is the best way to manifest. It's like when you write something down on paper, or even using pictures, which is what a vision board is, where you use pictures to like basically manifest what you want, and you see it, you put it in a place where you're actually looking at it like daily or constantly, right? It doesn't have to be daily, but it has to be a constant reminder to you. Like, that's when you think about in your head, like, yeah, I really want this, so if I'm seeing it constantly, I'm gonna work towards that. That's what this is all about. And so, like I said, there's no magic to it. It's just a constant reminder, and like, it all depends on your discipline and how bad you want it, right? Because if you are extremely motivated to manifest or to achieve your goal, then it will be manifested. It will happen because you're putting in the work. And it's all about putting in the work. Don't think that you can write something down and go to sleep and it'll happen. I mean, if you're lucky, it will. I'm not gonna say that that didn't happen to me. Of course it did, but I don't know how, like, what are the odds? And either way, it's not literally something that you're gonna go to sleep and it's just gonna magically appear. So with that being said, let's go on, and I'm gonna show you guys the vision board that I made. So here is my vision board of 2021. A quick disclaimer, this vision board is incomplete, and now that we're 10 months in, do you think that I'm gonna go ahead and complete my vision board? Absolutely not. I'm just gonna wait for the next year, the next vision board event, which is usually done in January. I'm just gonna wait for then to go ahead and manifest some more. I'm just gonna focus on manifesting the rest that hasn't been manifested. But yeah, so we're gonna look at my vision board from 2021. So for 2021, if you can see, it's in the smack middle of the vision board is YouTube. As many of you know, I started my YouTube channel earlier this year. Actually, I started my YouTube channel at the ending of last year. It was in 2020. But, so I posted, I think, my first 2 videos on YouTube on 2020, and after that, like, I just kept it to myself for the longest of time. I was just like skeptical of whether I wanted people to know that I did a YouTube channel or not. Like, it's always that fear in the back where you're just like, well, I don't know, like, if people's gonna support me or whatever. Like, it was just one of those kind of situations where I did it, but I wasn't sure I wanted people to know that I did it. Like, if you came across it on your own, then cool, but it was not in my intentions to like promote my YouTube channel and to let people know that I have a YouTube channel. Does that make sense? Do y'all see where I'm coming from? But yeah, that was definitely something that I always wanted to do since as long as I can remember. Like, I even remember like talking about this with one of my exes, right? And I told them like I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and they were like, oh yeah, go ahead, go for it. But it was just something that I never did because, again, the fear of the unknown is ugly. Like, don't let that stop you from anything you want to do, guys. Like, if you want to do a YouTube channel, go ahead and do it. Like, my YouTube channel started about, like I said, earlier this year, so maybe roughly 10 months ago, and my YouTube channel is still growing. It's still small, but it's definitely something fun for me. Like, I love doing it. I don't want to go too in detail with like why it's fun for me and why I decided to do it. Maybe I can leave that for another video. If you're interested, you can comment down below and I'll definitely make another video explaining like what motivated me to do my YouTube channel and like why I love doing it. But anyways, back to my vision board. So in my vision board, I also stated that I wanted to travel because I had just gotten my passport I had a passport when I was younger. Like my mom, she was always in charge of like buying our passports and taking us out the country, well, to Honduras, because that's the only country I ever been to at that time. Now I went to Mexico recently, so the girl's traveling. Like after I became responsible for my own stuff, I just didn't care to like proceed in getting a passport and going out the country and traveling and seeing other things than my norm. I didn't really care for it. Why? Because you are easily influenced by your surroundings, and the people who I was surrounded by were not doing those kind of things. So it's just like, who I'm gonna go traveling with anyways, even if I wanted. It's just like I didn't have a care for it. But then I changed my circle, I grew up, and even more so, I ended up moving to a different state. So it's like a big difference, and like the people that I surround myself with are more so of like better influence. Like it's just different. So now I'm like influenced in a positive way rather than a negative way. And I don't want to say that the people in my past influenced me in a negative way, but it was definitely not helping me grow. Traveling was definitely something I wanted to do, and I definitely did. The next thing I manifested on my vision board was money saver. I'm still working really, really hard on this, like money, financial management and money management. But overall, I've always been a kind of person that was like into saving money. So I grew up this way. My parents, well, mostly my dad embedded that in me, and it kind of stuck with me all my life. Like my dad always told me like to save my money. He would give me like $1 every so and be like, hey, go ahead and save that money. One day you're gonna have a lot of money and you'll be able to buy something big. I kind of try to instill that into DJ's head now because it's necessary. Kids need to know the value of money. They always want to ask you for money, and they think that money grows on a tree. Even myself, oh my god, if these people upstairs don't stop stomping. Even myself, when I was a kid, I always wanted to ask my parents to buy me this, buy me that, buy me this, buy me that. I never understood what it is to like actually have money to buy things. Like my mom always used to be like, Karina, yo tengo biles que pagar. Like that means, Karina, I have bills to pay for. Like the bills. So I always heard that all my life, and I'm like, oh my god, bills, bills, bills. Like bills is always gonna be there clearly, so just buy me what I want. But I never really understood the value of money until you grow up and get a job, and then you have your own bills. And you're like, oh, now I understand. So that's me. So one of the things that I did to save money was earlier this year when I did, after I did all of this vision board stuff. Are y'all done? So after I did my vision board, I went ahead earlier this year and I went to my jobs website where like I can see my paycheck and all that. Well, I don't know if they do that in New York, because when I used to live in New York, when I was working there, we never had like a portal where we could see our pay stubs online. So we had access to that. No, we had to use paper. But here in Houston, they do. They have it. They have a portal for you where you can see your pay stubs and you can check like how you want to distribute your money, like wherever you want it to go, like what bank account. So basically, long story short, I went on my portal and I went ahead and since I have two checkings accounts because I couldn't have a savings account. I went ahead and used my other checkings as a savings. I always had that as a savings, but I just didn't really save. I mean, I saved, but it wasn't as much as maybe this year. And this year is still saving, but very minimal. It's a start, so that's what matters here. So this year I went ahead and put out of my whole paycheck, automatically $50, like every time I get paid, goes into that account. So $50 every 2 weeks, or twice a month rather, goes into that bank account. And the money that I already had there. So now my savings, my second checking account. And my savings is definitely multiplying. I see it growing and it's great. So this year I plan to execute the same thing, but increasing the amount. And I want to actually do the 10% this time. 10% of my paycheck is going to go to that money, to that savings. And I just want to increase my savings. Like, I just want to focus on saving money right now. What is my goal? I don't know, but I have in mind a goal. I have in mind 2 goals, but I'm not going to share that just yet. But that's what I'm working on with saving money. So the other thing that I wrote here was experience. And don't mind this. This says oof at that. I just found that very funny to write there because it's like a lot of the Honduran people, at some point, I don't hear them saying it anymore, but at some point that was like something that if you were cool, like you would just throw that word out there just to sound cool, whatever. So I thought it was funny and I left it there. But the other thing that I wrote here was, the other thing that I manifested was here. I have a dog on my vision board. I wanted a dog so bad. I've always said like, I feel like my home is very empty. Like it's just me and DJ. DJ doesn't have anyone to play with. Like he doesn't have any siblings. Well, he does, but he doesn't, not with me. So my house is really quiet and I'm like, damn, like I'm single. So obviously having a kid right now is not in works. Like it's not nowhere near in progress. And on top of that, like even if I wasn't to be single, I don't really think that I want to have any more kids. But that's another conversation for another day. I wanted to get a dog, but I ended up manifesting a pet in general. So I got my cat, my precious little kitty. She's annoying as hell, but I love her. And yeah, I manifested a cat instead of a dog. But it's definitely cool because my son does play with the cat. He loves the cat. And so yeah, that's the next thing that I manifested. Here I have water, Fiji water. I don't really care for the brand of water, but I said that I wanted to increase my water intake. That is a struggle for me, if you guys. So I'm hypoglycemic and I actually made a video. I will link it right over here. I made a video about like my experience with hypoglycemia and informing you guys that I have hypoglycemia and that I don't really know much of hypoglycemia because I just recently got diagnosed with it. I do know that water, when I drink a lot of water, makes my sugar go down and I get sick. So it's kind of like I haven't found the healthy balance when it comes to water intake, but I definitely did increase my water intake. I'm always, when I go to work, I drink a whole jug of this water if my body allows me, because there's days where it's not working out for me. Like I said, it makes my sugar go down and then I get sick. So, but yeah, I've definitely been drinking much more water this year. Overall, I don't really like drinking sweets unless it's like a natural drink, like a smoothie or like apple juice. I love apple juice. Orange juice, I always have orange juice because my sugar drops. And other than that, I'm not drinking much of anything sweet unless it's my coffee. And my coffee, I only put like 1 or 2 spoons of sugar. And when I'm drinking wine or any kind of alcoholic beverage, is, you know, alcohol has sugar in it, and that's not to say that it's always going to be sweet, but that's the only kind of sweet drinks I'll have. Other than that, it's just strictly water. So I definitely manifested that. I drink more water and I'm trying to increase it more, but in a safe way for myself. And I put the sign here, stop judging yourself, because I do that a lot. I am my worst critic. And I think we all can relate to that, right? But like I said, with starting YouTube, I started it and it took me 2 months to finally get over it and just do what it is. And I actually told myself that this year we're gonna get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Like being uncomfortable is okay. If you're comfortable, there's no growth when you're comfortable. So I made it my issue to start being okay with being uncomfortable. And so with that being said, I can't judge myself for wanting to do better and not just going treating myself so harsh about it, like judging myself really bad to the point where I get discouraged and I start second guessing myself, like, well, is this a good idea? Should I go ahead and do that? Like, I gotta treat myself more nice. I gotta treat myself how I treat others. Like I treat other people very, very nice, but when it comes to myself, it's like I'm very judgy. So, and below that I also wrote, well, I didn't write it, but I also put, you will do it, because I will do it. Anything that I want to do, I always get done. And that's not to brag or anything, but like I've always had that kind of mentality. Like anything that I want, I always go for. It might take me a while, but I definitely always get whatever I want. I work hard for it. So the other thing that I wrote, or that I put on my vision board, was here, NYC. Honestly, I didn't see this one coming at all. I moved here 2 years ago and I could never see it happening that I'm gonna go to New York, because Not because of anything major, you know? Like, my mom always comes here. So anytime that I was given the opportunity to go to New York, my mom would beat me to it and come down here. She would just always fly here whenever I wanted to go to New York. Because initially, I wanted to go to New York for the holidays, but she's always here for the holidays, so there's no need for me to go to New York if I'm gonna go see her, right? Well, I'm gonna go see other people as well, but my mom ended up taking DJs for a whole month, not the whole summer, but a month. For 1 full month, she took DJ to New York, and that led me to go to New York to pick up DJ to bring him back to me, obviously, and I was able to go to New York. I only went there for a weekend though. I was there literally for like 3 to 4 days. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 days, but I was only there for the weekend. I was not given the opportunity to see all of the people that I wanted to see, but I did get to see the people that I needed to see. That's all that matters. But I do plan on going back to New York and staying there for at least a week or more, so that way I can be able to explore New York again and see the things that change in the 2 to 3 years, because by the time I go back it's gonna be more than 2 years, but it's in the works. Like, I'm gonna plan on going to New York to actually vacation in New York. I went to New York this year for, like, I want to say business-wise, just to pick up my son. Like, I was not there to, like, have a good time at all. Even though I did, don't get me wrong, I did have a good time. I sure did have a good time. But anyways, yeah, I didn't see that coming, and it worked out perfectly fine. That's one of those things that where you close your eyes and then you just manifest it. It just basically happens. This one, I don't know what I was doing here when I posted this one on my... When I put this one on my vision board, I don't think I meant like actually doing the ziplining, if that's what that's called. But I think I put that there just for like to do, like for the experience. Like I wanted to do more outdoor activity and do more different things, like involve myself with more activities. Like the next one, of course, was, oh, how could I miss this one? The car. I didn't manifest the car, unfortunately. It was definitely something I was working hard to get this year. I definitely wanted a car so bad this year, but I was just like, my car is still good. I'm still working on saving money. And as most of you know, I am a single mother, so I have tons of responsibility and no help. So everything has to be done on my own. So I was like, if I buy a car, I can get a car this year, but I would definitely be financially distraught. Like, I would not be good if I do that. So I haven't manifested that. I haven't manifested the outdoor activities as of yet, but everything else I manifested. Oh, and the other thing that I did not manifest, oh, clearly in here, I didn't manifest 3 things: the outdoor experience, the car, and the last one, what I desire so bad but I cannot have, is love. So I've been single for a while, like over 5 years, honestly, longer than 5 years. And that's not to say that I haven't been dating or I haven't had anything to do with anyone at all. Like, obviously I do date. It just doesn't work out. Like, we never get to make it official and be in a relationship. I really do wish to be in a relationship, but again, that's one of those things that where I'm not gonna settle. Like, if I know that I'm not being treated adequately, I'm not gonna rush to like put titles into something. And I need to be with somebody who's secure, like in all aspects. Somebody that knows what they want, because a lot of these guys they do not know what they want. They're quick to hit you with the, well, I'm not ready to be in a relationship, but let's see where this is going. Like, what? You clearly already know what you want. You don't want a relationship. That's kind of the thing that I struggle with. And so when I hear a guy tell me that, I automatically just put a thumb in that category where it's like, okay, you're not going to get nothing out of that. This is not going to be something that you're going to entertain for a long time. And up to the point where I'm not entertaining it anymore. But those are the 3 things that I did not manifest: was the car, the love life, and the outdoor experience. Everything else on my vision board, I definitely did manifest, and I'm extremely happy with myself for manifesting the things that I did. Manifesting is not anything magical. It's all about you and the work that you put in and how bad you want the stuff that you're asking for. God is gonna give it to you, but you gotta work for it. That's literally just it. But like I said, when you hang a list of goals, if you write it down on paper and hang it up, whether it's physical writing or putting words, pictures, whatever, if you hang it up somewhere that you're always constantly looking at, you're bound to remind yourself to work hard for that. And you're subconsciously, you're gonna go ahead and work for that. And that's how you manifest. And that's the best thing I ever done this year. Honestly, I am just here for it. Like, I love it here. Even though like it has been a very stressful year, I'm not even gonna hold you. It's been a stressful year. Nothing was peachy and creamy, but overall, there was definitely a lot of growth this year, and I am here for it. I love it. I love to see my own growth. Like, people that know me long enough to know that I grew a lot, that I changed for, like, to become a better person. I love when they're able to tell me that. Like, it really feels good because I am really, really working hard every day to be a better person than I was yesterday. So if you found any value in this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you are into the content that I provide. And I will go ahead and see y'all in the next one.